In this lecture, we are going to talk about naming convention. I'm on the official documentation of Oracle, and we will not talk about all the naming conventions, but only for now we will focus on what we are using for now as beginners. The first thing we are going to see is classes. So they are saying class name should be nouns in mixed case with the first letter of each internal word capitalized. Try to keep your class name simple and descriptive. Use whole words. Avoid acronyms and abbreviations unless the abbreviation is much more widely used than the long forms such as URL or HTML. All right. So to summarize, we will use a capitalized letter for the first letter of the name of the class. So, as we did it already, calculator starts with a capitalized letter, main with a capitalized letter, and I just made a new Java class for this lecture. And I'm respecting the naming convention because I named it with a capitalized letter at the beginning of the word. And each time I'm starting a new word, I'm using again a capitalized letter. Okay? So this is the way to go. There's nothing much to say. They give you some examples. Raster, image sprite. Okay. Let's talk about variables naming convention because we are going to use it really a lot in the next lectures. They are saying except for variables, all instance class and class constants are in mixed case with the lowercase first letter. Internal words start with capital letters. Variable names should not start with an underscore or dollar sign. They show you. Characters, even though both are allowed. So they are saying something pretty interesting. So because you have to understand there are some naming conventions. If you don't respect them, you will not have compilation errors. But it's not a good way to do things. So in other words, it's not going the program to the compiler refuse to provide the bytecode. So let's make an example. I'm doing a variable. All right. So I did it well. I started the name of my variable. The first letter was a lowercase letter, so no problem. And if I'm doing this, an underscore, it's okay. This is not a compilation error. The compiler will do the bytecode, but this is not a good way to go. This is not a good respect of the naming convention. So you shouldn't do this, right? They're saying same with dollars. They do not recommend you to use it, but again, one more time, this is not a compilation error. So let's do a variable name with two words in it. So I'm starting it with water. Water, as you understand now, should start with a lowercase w. And as temperature is another word, I'll start to write it with a capitalized T, right? So this is what we call commonly camel case, all right? One more thing about that is variable names should be short yet meaningful. So don't write 10 words as you can do it as long as it is possible. Make a variable meaningful, short. This way, in a second, I understand what we are doing, what is the purpose of this variable, right? To make the things clear for you and your colleague, other developers, okay? I think that's pretty much it. They are talking about some variable temporary names. So we will see it in the next lecture when we will talk about the for statement. So for now, that's pretty much it. I'm showing you one more thing because I told you that we can not respect the convention, but we are not going to have compilation errors. But if I'm doing this, I'm not respecting the naming convention, but I'm not respecting the compilation rules. So you shouldn't at all start a variable name with a number, for instance. All right? I think it's the same for the class. You cannot do this. This will lead to a compilation error. Okay? So feel free to read slowly what they are saying. To summarize, there is nothing much complicated. There's nothing complicated. Start your class name with a capitalized letter. When you have a new word inside the class name, write a capitalized letter also. Write your variable with a lowercase letter. And when it is composed, the name is composed with two words, start each word with a capitalized letter, and I'll catch you in the next lecture.